Hello fellow crafters, my name is George and this is the Spare Time G, and today we're gonna have a collaboration video with Kayakasaurus, and we decided to challenge each other making the blend of 3 different dinosaur species and make the hybrid of it. So I challenged him to make this ultimate armored dinosaur from a blend of Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus and Triceratops, and this is what he came up with. I really like his design, blend and everything. You can go to this link and see his video, his channel and everything else. So his challenge to me was Centrosaurus, Therasius and Sauropelta. So the first thing I have done, of course, is the skeleton of the dinosaur. As 2 of my dinosaurs were quadrupedal, I have decided that it would have been the dominant feature in the blend, so I decided to make the hybrid quadrupedal as well. Here you can see that I'm starting by applying some paper to make my dinosaur skeleton as light as possible and at the same time conserve some clay. Right now it looks like some strange roasted rat, and at the same time it's not very thick, so to say. I decided to play very conservatively here in order to have the freedom of imagination later on. Here I have just thickened up the parts I thought would be larger. For this one it's going to be the back. I have decided to make this huge dome on the back of my dinosaur instead of behind the head as it is featured on one of my dinosaurs, more specifically for Centrosaurus. And here you can see that I have starting this clay layering process. I have not gone into adding some more paper to its legs because I needed that freedom in order to make any kind of changes with the clay. I have made the clay additions to the neck, to the tail and to the body, of course. Here you can see that I have started making some distinctive features for our dinosaur. More specifically, I have made the back like to pop up. This is going to be more or less the final height. I want the back to be quite high, making the whole dinosaur like more menacing, so to say, in the defensive purposes, of course. And again, I want to talk about this shield I'm going to put in front of the back. The Centrosaurus has it at the end of the head, not on the back. But as Sauropelta and the Tyrannosaurus had long necks, I thought it would be really awkward to attach this shield at the end of their head, so I decided to move it closer to the back. As you can see here, I have already started the frame adding process. I have decided to use wire to make the frame quite sturdy. And also you can see that I have developed some legs at the same time. It is quite easy to shape them. You just can go to the Google, type even the rhino, and you will get this desired leg shape for front and the back. Here you can see that these 2 steel wires are not connected to each other. The sheer amount of clay I'm going to apply later on will put them together quite well. I just needed it to shape up the shield, so to say, and make it sturdy at the initial clay adding process. Here you can kind of understand what I was thinking of making this frame and somehow to fill it in with the clay. I have decided to make this rod and then fill it up like this. It kind of looks like elephant ears, to be honest, African elephant ears, but of course it's going to be a lot thicker in the later. At the same time, I have thickened up the tail and at the same time made it longer. It is not desired, but I kind of thought that longer tail would be more imposing. Unfortunately, so to say, all of my 3 dinosaurs had relatively short tails. The only exception is Sauropelta, and yeah, I wanted it to be at least medium size, kind of to counteract the head length and at the same time the heaviness of it. Here you can see that I have smoothened up everything and also shaped up the head. Also I have made and finished the body, so to say, and also made this kind of bump where one of my horns is going to go. And here is the all covered and smoothened up body. I'm quite happy with this result, and it is, to be honest, it is quite easy to shape the dinosaur skin, as it do not really need to be as smooth as it is desirable for other creatures, for example as it would be desirable for sharks or other smooth surfaced creatures, so to say. Dinosaurs of course have all these marks, bumps and other irregularities on top of their skin, so you can just leave it as it is, maybe even right now, and go with it. Here you can see the horn shaping process. I have decided to make these horns kind of texturized. I'm using my rubber and brush kind of tool. I really do not know the name of it. Maybe a shaper. No, this is the at the end there is a rubber which makes clay to go make these bumps without kind of disrupting the surface of it, and you will not get these small wrinkles and other parts coming out of it. So it is quite comfortable if you want to make bumps or other markings inside of the clay texture. And of course all of my horns are going to be symmetrical, two of them of course, going onto the both sides of the dinosaur. Here you can see that I have finished up the head shape. At the same time I have texturized my dinosaur skin and have cut out these marks where small horns is going to go. This is the loop tool I have used for it. This round end of course, and at the same time I have added this kind of feathers at the end of the tail. This was because I wanted to transfer the Tyrannosaurus featherness which he has in some imaginations, so to say. We really do not know what the actual skin looked like, but yeah, here you can see that I have used this kind of wire tool to scratch everything up and made even more bumps and even more scars, getting closer to this dinosaur look. At the same time I have added these round shapes. Those are for big horns. They are kind of supposed to serve as the as to make this illusion that the skin is coming up at the places where the horns are puncturing it, so to say. And right now we will need to paint this guy, because once we start to add horns it will be really mind-bogglingly hard to separate the coloring in between the horns and the actual skin. So I have decided to use this simple dark green for the actual color, but later on I will change the color texturing. I will and you also need to add some kind of lighter tone underneath the belly, underneath the tail and the neck, and on the inside portions of the legs, as it kind of delivers the feel that the dinosaur has kind of softer and not as protected places inside those parts than it is on the outside. And it is, of course, it is kind of logical, because all the, or mostly all the attacks will be coming on the sides and from front, not like from the beneath. And that's the reason of it, evolutionary, at least it is my opinion. And here you can see I have finished up this painting process, and at the same time added my horns, made the head, added the eye, and yeah, it really looks quite nice in my opinion. I have decided to use, to go with the orange color for the bony parts, and at the same time have used lighter green to make this kind of shadows, so to say. And I will right now explain other details. For example, I tried to make the head more closely resembling to Sauropelta, and probably generally the whole body structure is more or less related to that guy, because I thought that its defensive capabilities were the most prominent and the best at the same time. So those features would have been the ones which would survive in the long span of their lifetime, and that is kind of Darwinism I have included in my sculpture. I really like these prominent bones at the neck, which Sauropelta has, of course, but for us we have included and blended it to this dome or shield at the end of the head and at the end of the back, so to say. At the same time, I have made these fingernails, so to say, and the beak of the dinosaur with this different kind of brownish color. And in my opinion, these dark eyes look more peaceful than other colors would have. I have kind of tried several others like blue and yellow. I want also to mention this part which is coming out from the front leg. If you go and Google the design, or maybe the replicas, so to say, of the Tyrannosaurus, you will find that it has really long nails, claws, more like claws at the end of front limbs. But at this setting, as the dinosaur is not bipedal, it will be really awkward walking with huge nails. So I kind of tried to incorporate this feature and moved these nails up and out, and at the end it ended up on the elbow, so to say. In my opinion, it will be a great feature for self-defense, and more or less kind of borrows from the Tyrannosaurus feature. And yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I enjoyed it. At the same time, I hope Kayakasaurus enjoyed it as well, and hope that we will have collaborations later on our careers as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I enjoyed making it. It was a really big fun for me, and hope to continue doing this kind of interesting challenges. And here is the Kayakasaurus hybrid. Have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.